I was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi, on the Mississippi River. I also grew up in the Methodist Church, part of a national church where we had national church literature, things like this, some questioning about race relations. I sort of thought that separate but equal was working. That's from a white perspective, and that everybody had solved all the problems. I entered college in the fall of '54. I went to a church-related college, liberal arts school, Millsaps College here in Jackson. Millsaps had always had close connections with Tougaloo College, a black school run by the United Church of Christ, New England denomination. So it had freedom that the other places didn't have. But people from both colleges would attend interracial lectures at the black college. I was present as a college student when the moderates, the good people, became the silent people and became good Mississippians while madness raged around them. And the people who organized themselves were the right-wing resistance, the leaders of that, and they were leading less educated whites who were very frightened. People had come back from the Second World War with two expectations. Blacks thought, like Medgar Evers, my friend, that since blacks had fought in the war, he fought in Europe, they would be allowed to vote, they would have all kinds of rights. And I think white came home from the war thinking everything will be like it was, not 10 years ago during the Depression, but way back in some golden age. We've made America great, and now everything's going to be great at home. So you have two groups of people, the whites sort of wanting to relax. They've been through the Depression, war, and here you have blacks finding out that they're going to be denied and insisting they're acting with pride and will stand up. I was a sociology major, so I had to try to understand some of these things, and then as I worked in them, I did. I met Medgar Evers when I was like 18, 19, a college student, and he had just come to Jackson to work for the NAACP. Medgar guided me. Medgar was a brilliant teacher and invited several white students in sociology and history, if we were working on term papers, to come interview him about poverty and race, which we did. He did not overwhelm us talking about the Emmett Till case, which he had investigated, trying to find black witnesses who knew something about what had happened. Certainly everyone at my college talked about it's wrong to kill a 14-year-old guy. I also saw in the white community that the men who were accused of killing Till were probably guilty, and white people that I knew said they thought they were guilty. It was a shame, and I realized that the educated middle-class whites didn't think this was good, but neither did they think it was safe to let it go by, and that everybody was wrestling, and in confusion, people were letting the dark leaders take over. And I thought, we're going to get through this, and it's going to be black leadership, not the moderate white educated people that I grew up with. And I hadn't even thought, it was a segregated world. I hadn't even thought of black leadership for, even for blacks. It just wasn't something I, as a white American, thought about. I had a summer at University of Michigan, so I had moments where I was seeing things and then deciding I'd go away. Medgar said, you have to return. My white teachers at Millsaps said, thank God you're getting away. Get a job when you're gone in a church in the north or west or something. You can never come back because people who think differently never come back. And Medgar and a white professor at Tougaloo College, Ernst Berinsky, who was a refugee from Nazism, he would say, you have to find a way to come back. I did see white ministers driven out of the state. I saw white university teachers driven out of Ole Miss and other schools. I saw white teachers I knew at my own college looking for jobs and were on the move. I saw crackdown on free speech. At the state universities, you could not have a visiting speaker in your classroom without permission of a special legislative committee. And the state of Mississippi designed its law copying California, which was controlling speech at Berkeley and other places in the communist hysteria. And the goal was to keep out communists, and we said we'll keep out people who support integration because they're communist. I once was in graduate school, was working with people in the civil rights movement. I had teachers who 6 years earlier had had Martin Luther King as a student, with a group of black and white Southern kids in the seminary at Boston University. I graduated from Millsaps in Mississippi in June, and in December we were meeting Martin Luther King in Montgomery and having dinner at his home with Coretta.